Hello students, I welcome you to Career Development Series. Our first lecture today is Introduction to Career Documents. What are the learned objectives? In the end of this video lecture, you will be able to define career documents and their role in professional life, identify major types of career documents used in job searching, understanding the specific purpose and functions of each document, and then you will learn best practices for creating effective career documents. The first question is, what are career documents? Career documents are professional materials used to present your qualifications, skills, and experiences to potential employers, academic institutions, or professional networks. There are some common career documents. They include resume or CV, cover letter, application form, LinkedIn profile, reference list, and your experience profile. So their role is job searching and applications, professional communication, and career development and advancement. Why career documents matter? Because it is always the first impression. Before you going to interview, your documents portray your first impression. Recruiters spend 6 to 7 seconds scanning a resume. Your document is your first handshake. Now, career documents also showcase your achievements. They highlight your qualifications, skills, accomplishments clearly and compellingly. Career documents also your professional branding's evidence. They build consistent, trustworthy personal brand that resonates with your target industry. It also have it also goes for your more opportunities. You will have well-crafted documents dramatically increase your chances of landing into your first job. Your first document is your resume. A concise, targeted document, 1 to 2 pages. It is recommended for you to have a resume only on 1 page and a CV 2 to 3 pages. Summarizing your education, work experience, and skills for specific job application. Its key sections are contact information, summary or objective, education, experience, and skills, as you can see in this short example which I have written for you. You can see the name, the address, summary, education, experience, and skills. You don't have to put extra details, extra styling. You have to written on a simple page explaining these simple facts. What is curriculum vitae and how does it differentiate from a resume? A comprehensive document of your entire academic and professional history, used primarily in academia, research, and international applications. Its features are its features not only vary in length, purpose, content, sections, updates, and common to resume. As you can see in the table, its length resume comes to 1 to 2 page and CV it always 2+ pages. It does not have any limit. So resume is used for the job applications and CV used for the academic or research. In content, resume targets summary, while CV complete history. In sections, a resume has work, skills, and education, while a CV always has publication, research, and awards with it. In resume, you can update tailored per role. What you have done in the past, you can write that exactly. But in the CV, you can update increment. So a resume is common in USA industry and CV is common in UK, academia, and any other countries. The cover letter. What its purpose? Its purpose is to present your complete complements of your resume, tells your story, explains your motivation, and connects your skills to the specific role. So Its structure is: first you must have an introduction stating the role you are applying for and why you are excited about it. Then body, link your key achievements and skills to the job requirements. Then conclusion, call to action, express desires for an interview and thank the reader. So I have some of the tips for you for writing an effective cover letter. Research and company before writing. Address a specific person, not to whom it may concern. It is not recommended because it is not a certificate, it is an application. Alright, a job application is called simply a cover letter. Keep it to one page, use the job descriptions language, quantify achievements where possible, proofread errors or disqualifying customize every letter, never send generic copies. This is very important. So, application forms and online profiles are very important for you to have your digital presence. In job application forms, standardized forms used by the employers. Request same info as resume. Be consistent in this process. Common on ATS, applicant tracking system. Then copy exactly from your master resume. For your digital presence, employers Google applicants routinely. Keep personal websites or portfolio strengthens your brand. I also recommend you to at least you should have one your personal website. Then you have to keep your social media professional or private. Then you have to consistent username across all the platforms. You do not have to use different usernames for your platforms. LinkedIn and professional profiles have become very emphasizing in today's digital presence and digital application system. Why? Because it extends your professional brand online. Recruiters actively search LinkedIn and match your resume same dates and titles and the same key words or the skills. It also very important for the recruiters and for you to have similar skills. If you match these skills, then recruiters will find you easily and you will be a valuable asset for them. It also adds recommendations and endorsements. So I also recommend you to have LinkedIn and professional profile first. Accuracy and consistency is also very important. Contradictions between documents in raised flags. Verify dates, job title and institutions. Update all profile when your CV changes, and honesty is not non-negotiable. You have to provide everything honestly. So, references and recommendation letters. These two topics are very debatable. Everyone talks and discusses about these. How to give reference and what you have to present in your recommendation letters. So, for the reference list, a separate document listing 2 to 3 professional contacts you can vouch for your skills and character, include your name, title, organization, email, phone, and saying references available upon request on resume, or only sharing why requested by employees. These are the common methods which you can use for the references. So why who to choose? It's very important. Former managers or supervisors you can choose, academic tutors or professors, mentors or senior colleagues. You don't choose your parents, your family members, your friends, and your spouses. So you have to be formal in the application process and in giving references. And for recommendation letter, what is it? A formal letter from anyone or someone who knows your work written to endorse you. It is essential for academic program, either scholarship and senior roles. It is also very important and should be specific to the examples of your role, achievements, and not generic praises. So now, in the professional etiquettes, always ask permission well in advance. Brief your referee on the role program. Provide your CV to help them write and send a thank you note afterwards. In the personal statements and career portfolio, what is personal statement? It is a short persuasive essay describing who you are, your goals, and why you are the right candidate. It is used for university, postgraduate applications, graduate schemes, and competitive programs. It is also used for the top of resume as professional summary. So, key questions here to answer: who are you professionally? What drives and motivates you? Why this role or institution? If you are answering these questions, then you are going to write your personal statement or summary of your resume. In career portfolio, it is a curated collection of your best work demonstrating your skills, your experiences, and your achievements. It also includes your projects and case studies, your certifications and awards, your work samples and reports, and your achievements on the matrices. So, here are some of the best practices for effective career documents. You should have clear formatting, you should have professional tone. For clear formatting, be consistent with font spacing, headings because they all make scanning easy for the recruiters. And for professional tone, use formal, confident language, avoid slang abbreviation or casual phrasing. Proofread carefully. It is very important for you after written your document, proofread them. Read aloud, use spell check, and have a peer review before submitting. And then tailor to your each role, customize keywords, skills, and examples to match each specific job description. After doing all these tasks, then go for the action verbs and the matrices. Lead with the verbs: achieved, lead, developed, quantify, increase sales by 25%. Use these kind of words in order to demonstrate your role in the previous jobs. Don't go for your mentioning your skills, what you have in that job. Mention what you did, what problem you solved. So recruiters are going to find you a valuable person, not just a skilled or sculptor. So there are common mistakes to avoid. Don't do spelling and grammar errors. Don't go for the inconsistent formatting, and don't go with irrelevant information, and do not exaggerate claims. In the future trends in career documents, there are digital portfolios, online personal branding, websites, AI and ATS screening, multimedia resumes. So I recommend you to use all of these digital platforms and have at least one digital platform for each for you to differentiate yourself from other applicants. So, some of the key takeaways from today's lecture. Knowing your documents, a resume, CV, cover letter, portfolio, references, each serves a distinct and important phrase. You also learned tailor every application, generic documents rarely succeed, and customize for every role, industry, and employer. You have also learned quality over quantity and evolving with the trends which are very prevalent in this AI age. And you are also going with the continuous improvements. Your career documents are living documents, update and improve them regularly. So, I have some of the questions and discussions. Thank you for your attention in this lecture. So, I have three questions for you. Which career document do you find most challenging in this video lecture? Have you tailored a document for a specific job before? And what will you improve in your resume this week? If you have, these answers of these questions, then mention them in the discussion box or write them in the comments box. See you in the next lesson.